Hey everyone, Amina here with the Float Small Business Podcast, speaking with Jake Withnell, financial advisor from JGP Wealth Management. And he's got some really interesting insights for small businesses in this difficult time. Thanks for being here, Jake.
Thank you, Mina.
Before we jump into anything, I think a thank you might be in order, unless it's a different Jake, but I think I saw a donation come through.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing it was you.
Yeah, I had to. I just love what you're doing. So I appreciate, when things get tough and you start thinking about other people, I think that is a real testament to your character and kind of how you operate. So I appreciate that. And a small gesture like that, I think, is in order for sure.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
How are you holding up through all of this, just on a personal level?
It's a little bit odd seeing the economic shutdown, have friends who've been laid off from work that had really steady jobs. But personally, family's healthy. And so I feel pretty blessed right now. I'm optimistic about, some of the language that's coming out about safely unraveling and starting to roll out the economy. So that gives me optimism, but I can't really complain right now.
It's hard to know how to feel when there's so much uncertainty.
Right. I think especially personality-wise, being more of a control freak and more wanting to feel like I had the illusion of control, right? It's never truly control, but the illusion got taken out from under us. And so just having that uncertainty of, am I going to be able to go to work tomorrow? Is our office going to be open, or are we going to be working remotely? How does that look? And then having family members who own small businesses, and dealing with their stress and talking through kind of a game plan for them, that's another part is, worrying about what the business continuation plan is going to be for them. And that affects my family. And so, again, just the uncertainty is what made this thing probably worse early on.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I have been wondering, JGP Wealth Management, is it a small business technically?
Yes, yeah. So we operate as a registered investment advisor. And so there's a team of 12 of us, 4 advisors and support staff, all local. Most of our clients are here local as well. All of us grew up in the area as well, which is kind of cool to have the Northwest ties. But we work with a lot of business, small business professionals. And so we feel it with them. Every day when I'm on the phone talking with someone, it's really tough to hear the stories, and then also really inspiring to hear the opposite end of the stories of people figuring out ways to get through this, ways to pivot their businesses and still generate revenue and keep people on payroll, because that's the biggest thing right now is the unemployment. If we can get people back on payroll, making money for their given companies, that's again going to drive the economy.
How are you forming a game plan with those small businesses in your family that maybe other small businesses could learn from?
I think it was really 3 things. So, first was, okay, let's address the cash flow. Let's figure out where, if things need to go, where they can come from, right? If we can't pay payroll, who's going to be the type of people that we're going to have to furlough? We want to keep them on healthcare. We want to bring them back, but give them the opportunity to go get unemployment. And then it's talking to, I think, the professionals that you have in your corner. So the advisors, CPAs, I think is really important because of all the regulations that came out, the stimulus package. They're going to be the ones who are reading those 500-page documents that no one wants to read. And so having that resource to turn to when you need advice, I think is really important. So that'd be the second thing. And then third thing, is looking at I think personal finance is really important. I think that kind of takes a back seat a lot of the times. And what I've noticed with people who do own small businesses, including family members, is usually that portion of their life takes a back seat. So, understanding what are you investing in? Should I refinance my mortgage? Can I get an asset line of credit or a line of credit on my house that might provide liquidity if needed for my business? And so, kind of just start addressing these things and start, checking boxes. I think it'll bring back a little bit of control and that uncertainty of, okay, my business is shut down. I can't sell cars, or I can't sell food. Well, at least I can control these few things, and I'm getting good advice on how I'm going to operate for the next week.
I think that advice part is huge because as a small business owner myself, and also as a control freak, I like feeling empowered. And I get that those sort of warm and fuzzy feelings when I do things myself. And I think that for a lot of people, asking for help is hard. It's an uncomfortable, vulnerable sort of feeling. But I think that we need to keep in mind that consulting with somebody that is a professional in a different field that could provide guidance and insights that will help, that's a no-brainer,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I would agree. And I think paying that person is really important. I love my dad and I can call him anytime and get free advice, but that doesn't mean it's great advice. I think there is a different relationship there to paying somebody, whether it's consultant to come in and look at your business and go, hey, here's what you need to do, or it's an advisor or a CPA. Again, they're going to know some things and they're going to be forced into kind of acting as that fiduciary for you and give you the hard advice. That's what you're paying them for.
Yeah.
And so it's just like having that team behind you. And some people, and maybe it's not doable or maybe it's not realistic. But I think it's important to start looking for those things. This might be a wake up call to go, hey, maybe I do need a CPA so I can figure out how to get a PPP loan, or maybe my banking relationship isn't set up the way I want it and I don't have the liquidity to support me for 3 or 4 months as the economy gets shut down.
Right. Because you need to have your taxes done in order to apply for some of this relief, right?
Right. And I think just having the knowledge of, you're running a business, you're not coming home and wanting to dive into the application and figuring out, okay, based off of last year's, payroll expenses, this is how much I need to apply for, what forms do I need to get into. So I think a lot of the CPAs that I've talked to, they're helping clients kind of just start move the needle on all those things. And then there's other, banking relationships. It seems like the conversations I've had with, local clients that the people who are getting the loans are working with smaller banks, and that seems to be kind of a niche for them, is they're getting that, hands-on care opposed to going to a bigger, and I'm sure there's Chase Bank and Wells Fargo that are doing a great job getting people these loans, but it seems like the people who are going to these smaller advisors on the banking side are getting things done much more efficiently as well.
I have heard that. Yes.
Yeah.
So is that the advice then? Skip the big banks and just go straight to the little guys?
I'm not so sure about that. But I think it's something to look into. It's just starting to, again, kick the tires on the different options. And if you're not getting something done, go out and look for new opportunities. And maybe this is a time to renegotiate that relationship and try to find something new.
Yeah. I mean, my impression is that this is not a typical recession caused by typical forces. This is unprecedented.
Yeah.
And people want to go out to restaurants. People want to go to work. People want to live their lives. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are already and will be financially impacted in ways that are significant. But I'm so optimistic about the community coming together the way it has, because we can, I don't know, it's that cliche that rising tides lift all boats. And I'm hoping that more than ever, I hope that we can come together as a community and support each other, no matter who's sitting across the table from us.
Absolutely. And that's why I think this is so awesome, the whole concept behind Float, and having a website where you can go support local businesses and small businesses at that. Because I saw a video that you did where you were talking about how small businesses are the backbone to our economy. And it's so true. That's a lot of where the economic growth is coming from. And so if they're in trouble and you enjoy Sister's Coffee or you like going to Nossa Familia Coffee, or there's a certain restaurant that isn't open right now, but they're selling gift cards, maybe it's, prepaying for future fun. I think that's to keep people going along. And if we can get through that, that period here, the next couple of months where maybe these restaurants are at 40 or 50% capacity, and we can get them to the other end, when the vaccine comes through or whatever happens with the health crisis, we get that under control, the economy is ready to take up again and take us out of a recessionary period. And I really think, consumer spending money is what's going to draw that.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's really great advice. Thank you so much, Jake. I think this is going to help a lot of people.
Thanks, Amina. I appreciate you asking me to do this. This is a lot of fun. Keep doing the hard work. Like I said, it's impressive when things are tough that you're thinking about how can you support others. You have a business to run as well. And you went the opposite direction. Instead of hunkering down, you decided to open up. So I really admire that.
Thank you.